the moment I stopped worrying about other people and started focusing on me,
Come on, Bobby.
I didn't have time to worry about what y'all was doing because I'm building my own empire. I was most miserable when I wasn't busy and active because I'm sitting here watching everybody else. But if I'm active and busy, bro. Welcome to another edition.
Listen.
What is it called? A Father's Heart
Bro,
podcast. You know what I mean? Listen, we are excited, man, because this is the first time we've been in person,
First
bro.
time. First of all, I'm in the building.
Yes, first time I met him ever in my life.
Bro, so it feels good to be in the space, man.
Yo, that's what's up, man.
It feels good to see you. I mean, we haven't seen each other. How many in person?
It's been some years, man. Definitely before the pandemic.
Wow.
Right? Definitely before the pandemic.
Wow.
And yo, honestly speaking, it might have been the last time you was presenting in Lansing. I came down to Lansing.
Was that the fatherhood?
Yeah, it was a fatherhood conference. Yeah, I was just swung by. I was at Lansing Community College.
It was
from Michigan State. Last time I saw you, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I slid through to come and check you and Jonathan Lawrence out, man.
That's it. So
yes, sir.
man, I'm glad to be in the space.
Yeah, yo.
I see. I'm in the red chairs.
Yes.
Like,
it's not a red table talk.
We ain't doing that.
This is the red chairs. That's what this is.
Yes,
bro.
man. So what you want to talk about tonight?
Yo,
we got
listen,
our group
man.
with us.
Like for real, bro. I really want to tap into and get your mind, and your thoughts surrounding, what we have and what we are developing.
Okay.
Hasn't always been the norm for me, right? Of like collaborating and just really building with other black men.
Yep.
And I just want to tap into that of just like, yo, why is it hard for black men, right, to patronize, to support, right, to build with one another? And I can't speak in its totality because I do know some people that I'm closely connected to, that are doing amazing work together.
Right.
And so they have a blueprint.
Right.
And a lot of people don't have that blueprint.
That's true.
Right. So we're speaking directly to those who have a very difficult time.
Right.
Learning how to collaborate, learning how to support one another through their grind, through their process, the whole night. Like, why do you think it's difficult for men, black men in particular, to build one another up? And was that ever a struggle for you, bro?
Man, so that's a two-part question, right? Because I think one of the things that comes up often is that you're often told, don't trust anybody with your dreams. If you tell somebody your dreams, man, they're going to take it or they're going to downplay it.
Yep.
So I think the idea of you got to keep everything to yourself. You can't tell nobody because you can't trust anybody. So I think it goes back to, how do I trust my brother? How do I trust black men? But it goes back to fatherhood. How do I trust a black man if I've never had a black man in my life that I could trust?
Yeah.
So I think that's been one element for me, is that I never had a man that I could trust in my life. So could I really trust my brother that looked like me?
Yeah.
And I've been told, don't tell him too much, because if you tell him too much, he's going to take what you got, then he going to exploit it, and then it's going to be his, and then he going to take all the credit, and then you sitting there looking like, why did I even tell this brother?
Absolutely,
so
man.
I think that's one. And then I don't think we don't use the word collaboration. Like, when I think about collaborate, I've never heard it in a way that says, okay, bro, you gotta learn how to work with your brother. You share, right?
Yep.
But what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. But the idea of collaborating as an adult man is foreign to me, especially because everything that I know about what it means to be a man, you have to do it on your own.
Yeah.
You gotta get it on your own. I ain't got time to wait on you, Shon, bro.
That's
it's good,
real.
bro. You got it, but
that's real.
Shon, I needed this yesterday. You still? Oh, okay. You busy? You know what? Never mind, bro. I got it.
That's real.
And that's where it goes back to.
You know, like those that is definitely two powerful ways to look at it, man. And I do have a story surrounding the latter part. But Cole, I think as well for me, when I think of why we don't collaborate, I think we were taught to not collaborate.
Absolutely.
From the America's way.
Yeah, I agree.
From the America's way, and not trying to get too deep, but we have to, tap into it, with this conversation.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of times, man, we were trained and taught not to trust each other from, people that were in power, right? That we were ignorant, that we weren't smart, that we couldn't, conduct business, or whenever it's somebody who has that's black that has a business, there's not a lot of grace there, right? If you make a mistake, it's always like, see, you can't trust black businesses, right? Where you go to Red Lobster, you have one bad experience, like you go back though, right? You complain.
And
right,
you still show back up.
You show back up. Right. You complain. They take some money off your bill, and you like, I'm going back.
You go back.
But if it's something like with a black business,
we hold no grace for you.
We don't have grace for one another.
Ain't no grace for
we
that.
go to social media. We just like, it's because they black. That's why I don't mess with black people.
Black people are late. They're never wrong. All the stereotypes that are associated to black folks, we've also ingrained those stereotypes and biases about ourselves.
Man. That's the thing, bro.
Yeah, but I'm upset if someone else outside the culture does it or says it or points it out. But I think we feed into those biases and stereotypes very quickly, and then we just throw it back and forth on each other. So,
absolutely.
It's a part of. It's almost like a rites of passage too, into going into being a black-owned business owner or any of that kind of stuff, because it really is related to, I'm waiting for you to make a mistake so that I can easily just say,
yes,
I knew it.
Yes.
So it's almost an internal thing too.
Yes, and I think that's where a lot of it starts, bro. I think a lot of it starts, right, where we need our own healing surrounding that, right? And that we need to be truthful surrounding that. Is that I need to change my bias. I need to change my thought process on how I think about other black men and black people, right? And not to be honest, man, for years, bro, growing up, I had a problem. I think I shared it with you, but I had a problem with not a problem. I was jealous of other black thriving men.
Yeah.
I didn't have an issue with black women, white men, I had an issue with black men. If they were thriving, if they was doing better than I was in my mind, bro, I was hating. And it wasn't like I was talking about them to other people, but internally, I was extremely jealous and had an issue about it. And how I justified it, I just said, Cole sell dope. Cole come from a two-parent household.
Back to the stereotypes, back to the biases, definitions.
But I had to do that, so I thought, so I could make myself feel better. And that wasn't the truth. And it wasn't, honestly, bro, it wasn't until I got married that I have really said I have to address this. Because now I had another woman, somebody I was responsible for, right? So I know I couldn't be the leader she needed me to be, still having a victim mentality.
Can you say it again?
Right, I never I couldn't be the leader in my home, having a victim mentality, and plus we were talking about bringing kids in. So I'm like, I first have to change the way I think, because I'll be a fraud trying to tell my children to operate in a way that I'm not. Because they'll see through it. They'll be like, my dad, you always talking, never take action.
And that's one thing I have to say about kids. They will hold you accountable if you listen to them. They'll tell you the truth.
Real talk.
If you listen.
Real talk.
Yeah, they'll tell you the truth.
Real talk.
I think it's funny too, just hearing you express that, because I've been in situations where I'm like, man, how my man's doing that?
Come on, how is
he doing that?
Not Cole.
No, how he doing that? And then I'm like, well, dang, how he working so hard? I'm working just as hard, if not harder. Okay, I gotta up my game. I can't go to sleep because he doing it. So it almost becomes a measurement of my success based on what other brothers are doing. Until somebody said to me, sometimes you just have to just look at what's going on with you. Take your time. And I think I always hear from you, dominate your lane.
Yes.
That you echoed that. And for a while, I didn't like when you used to say it. I didn't like when I would hear it. I'm like, he's dominate your lane. I hear you, but I'm in 5 lanes, Shon.
Yep.
I'm in 5 lanes. What you want me to do? What you mean, dominate your lane?
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, okay, how do I dominate? So that was one of the questions I came with. It's like, okay, it's one thing I'm seeing you grow, I'm seeing you develop, and I'm like, okay, he's really dominating his lane. But why am I not growing?
Yep.
I see you doing what you doing, bro, and you elevating.
Yep.
I've been in the game 10 years before you, and how you
Yep.
just come in 5 years and now you just
Yep.
soaring. I'm like, well, then it goes back to, well, what's wrong with me? Right?
Come on, man.
But then it discovered, no, it's not anything wrong with you. It took me a long time to learn that everybody gets to their North Star. We just have different ways of getting there.
Yes,
but we all get there.
Yes,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, now I've discovered, okay, if he's winning, I support him. I celebrate him.
Come on.
He's a mirror of me and a reflection of me. So if he's winning, that means at some point I'm going to win too. But if he's winning, I'm supporting him, then we all winning. So there's enough room for all of us.
It's enough, bro.
But it doesn't feel like that when you aren't now I'm about to say something else. When you're not being celebrated, when you not on the camera, when you not on the news, bro. When they're not writing about you. So when they're not writing about you, they're not celebrating you. You're not getting an award.
Yep.
Bro, you know what it feel like to get an award from the city, the county, all the work you've been doing.
Come on, man.
And then everybody else is doing the same work, but they're not getting that too. Bro, I don't like you, bro.
That's real.
I don't like you.
That's real, bro.
I don't like you.
That's
like
real.
You at all. I'm like, man, Shon got the books. I ain't wrote no book. Okay, I gotta write a book.
Yep.
But then I write a book and it's like, well, man, I still ain't there. I just wrote a book.
I just wrote a book.
I just wrote a book. But you learn over time that the best way to do it, I had to learn is, man, I have to partner. I got to celebrate. I got to collaborate. And I got to support you and appreciate the fact that, man, you are doing it, but you haven't done it alone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that was the biggest challenge for me, because I'm like, dang, everybody winning except for me.
Yep.
That whole victim mentality.
Yep.
Like, man, why ain't nobody looking at me?
Yep.
Why don't nobody see my bigger shine? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know the thing about it, bro, man, that's powerful you say that. But this is the thing, man. A lot of times when you're looking in somebody else's yard, they're looking in your yard too.
Bro.
You just don't see them. You just don't see them looking in your yard. They looking, right? You know what I mean? We just become so consumed, right? We become so consumed. And this is the thing, man. You said something. You was like, yo, I'm in 5 lanes, right?
Yeah.
I'm in multiple lanes. This is what I discover about dominate my lane. I dominate my lane when I come to a place to dominate and master my emotions, my feelings in the space I occupy.
Come on, bro.
The space that I occupy. So now if I master me and I master and dominate and operate in the dominion that I was given in that territory that I'm supposed to occupy, like myself.
Yeah.
Now when I go out, I just think about the Bible, right? In the book of Genesis, somewhere in the beginning, it talks about in the Garden of Eden, how was the garden, and there was rivers that flew in different areas, different rivers.
Okay.
But they always flowing from the garden. So if I am the garden, I should have multiple streams flowing from me.
Yeah.
It's when I'm not called to that stream.
Come on. Now we talking.
Right? It's not when I'm not called to that, then I'm not going to see the fruits. But if I'm called to that, right, then I will see the fruits. And then my question to somebody out there is like, yo, what is success?
Yeah. But just to take it back, though, I think what's interesting in hearing that is when we talk about collaboration, I didn't know that part of collaboration was saying, hey, that's not my skill set.
Come on, man.
But that's Shon's skill set. So I can send you to him because that's what he does. I don't do that. But what people are doing is, oh, that's not my skill set. Oh, but you gonna pay me?
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
I do it anyway.
Right?
Absolutely.
Versus
bro.
taking the time to like, okay, I got a bandwidth of brothers, a network of brothers that this is his skill. This is what he does. This is when I know his lane. That's the lane he strongly dominates in. Oh yeah, let me send you to him because he can do that.
Yep.
So I think I had to learn that that's part of collaboration too.
Yeah.
You don't always have to say yes because there's a check behind it. But that is what part of the issue is too. to collaboration is the idea that I got to get the bag.
Yes.
I got to get the bag.
Yes.
So he already got the bag.
Yes.
He already got it. So
you're right, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right, bro. But I tell people all the time, Cole, if we chase the assignment, man, the bag will come, bro. You know, listen, and this is the thing, man. This is not taken from anybody, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. I've been speaking professionally probably about 4 or 5 years, and was trained by the best, right? E.T. was trained by him.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, since I've been speaking, bro, I have never once sent an email or hit somebody up and said, let me come and speak.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? Now, listen.
No,
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm just super sweet or super dope, right?
No.
What I'm saying is that when I became focused on my assignment, the Creator sent people. People started talking about me. Yeah. People see me and they're like, hey, can you come?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you mean, God, I know it's you, because I know there's a lot of people out there who's sending out mass emails, who's, marketing and all that type of stuff. And I market, I post myself on social media. That's another way to do it.
Yeah.
But I just haven't done that.
Yeah.
And that's just to double down on my statement that God gave me, man, is Shon, chase your assignment.
Yeah.
Don't chase the bag. I promise you, I'll put you in position to accumulate wealth if you just dominate your lane.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that until I learned how to play well with others.
Yeah.
Until I had to start dealing with me and not being jealous of a Cole or Ricky or a John or whomever. I had to learn how to celebrate you.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, and I'll let you go, man. To keep on tapping in. The moment I stopped worrying about other people and started focusing on me.
Come on, boy.
I didn't have time to worry about what y'all was doing because I'm building my own empire. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm so caught. If I have time, and I realize that I was most miserable when I wasn't busy and active because I'm sitting here watching everybody else. But if I'm active and busy, bro.
We share that.
Yes.
We share that because I'm like, gosh. And what I heard you just say helped me to go back to gratitude, because I'm like you. I don't have to do any type of promotion to like get speaking opportunities. And it isn't until you just said that I recognize that there are a host of other men and women that are doing that groundwork. But I remember doing the groundwork. I remember sending out my media kit and nobody responding to it.
Yep.
But what I didn't do is that I didn't stop,
Yeah.
And I always go back to the first day I met you you had a suitcase that was with you. And in that suitcase was your curriculum. In that suitcase, I think. And I didn't know what was in it, but I saw you with it, and I thought to myself, dang, I ain't got no suitcase. I wonder what he got in there. That was my original thought. I'm like, what are he bringing? Okay, but then I had already heard about you before I met you. And that's the power, too, because I always tell people your name will enter into rooms before your body even gets there.
Yes, sir.
So when I met you, I was like, okay, this is a cool dude. Okay, first of all, this is the first black man I've ever met, and we're sharing a space together to speak.
Wow.
At the what was it? The WIC conference.
Yes.
I've never been in a room with another black man as a speaker.
Wow, bro.
Never. And I've been in Michigan for quite some time. So when I saw you, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good. I get to see a brother speak.
Yep.
And then they asked us the question, well, we can't have both of you in that same space. So who's gonna take the larger room and who's gonna take much more of the smaller room with a smaller group of people?
Yep.
You was like, Cole, you can have a large room. I'm like, you gonna give me the large room with everybody in it? I'm like, no, I don't want that. He was like, no, Cole, that's you. You go right ahead. And that right there said to me everything about who you were. So I was like, okay, this brother don't know me, but he's going to allow me to be in the largest room of this conference to impact all these people who probably are from all over the state of Michigan, which would give me the opportunity to speak and give me opportunity for future gigs. I'm like, wow, he passing on wealth to me. That right there set it off, brother. And it's because of that I've been able to like reach out to you and say, hey, I'm in these difficult situations, Shon.
Yep.
I don't know if I should be doing this because I trusted your word. And I realized from that, brother, that's how relationships start.
Yeah.
You see the brother making a sacrifice that he could have easily said yes to.
Yeah.
You made a sacrifice for me and you didn't even know me.
Yeah.
Other than, okay, this is another brother speaking. I'll take the smaller space with the smaller group.
Yeah.
You go ahead and handle that. You take over the whole stage. I will never forget that.
Man,
brother.
you mean Cole?
I'll never forget that.
Cole, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing that, man. That means a lot to me for you to bring that up and recognize that, right? But this is the thing, bro. I met you at the time when the Lord was really dealing with me, because I was like, Lord, help me die to myself.
Wow.
Right? I don't want to be jealous, Lord. And so He says, "Oh, you don't want to? Here's a chance to show that." And without batting an eye, I'm like, yep, what better way for me to do it? It had to be 500-600 people. I never spoke to a crowd that large. And that was my heart's desire. Wanted to speak to a crowd that size. Didn't know you, didn't know what you was going to speak about. Wow. But I was like, God, I am willing to sacrifice this for that. Whatever you have for me. You know what I mean? And that's why it was so easy for me to do it, because I was ready. I was ready for Him to do something new on the inside of me. Right? I wanted something different. I didn't want just what my mama or my dad or what they had. I wanted my own experience. I wanted something that was relevant and that was real to me that I can speak from. And there were two powerful moments in my speaking career, bro. About to be three. But the first one was when I had to speak to an audience of one. Because I said, God, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And He said, and I said, even if it's one. Yep. And this was the beginning of my speaking.
I remember.
Brother, was an audience of one.
I remember those.
And I preached like it was a packed house. The second one was that day with you. First time I could have ever spoken in front of a large group like that. And He like, what you gonna do? And I'm like, well, you know what I want, but you know what I'm gonna do. Wow. And I sat in the front seat. And I took notes.
You was in the front. I remember, bro.
I took notes and I watched those, you know, your PowerPoint and the whole nine, and enjoyed every single moment of it. Man. You know what I mean? In the third one, click that.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I remember that.
And the third one, is about to come up, man. My heart's desire was to share the stage with E.T. And the crazy thing about it, bro, is that I thought me doing a virtual conference, and I spoke at his conference like, man, God, that's super dope. You answered.
Yeah, that's all.
But I just got word and confirmation on this past Friday.
Wow. That
I'll be speaking at his men's conference, 360 men's conference in Atlanta, Georgia.
Congratulations.
And now I'll really be standing on the stage with them. With my favorite athlete in the whole wide world, which is Deion Sanders. Wow. Come on, bro. And that comes from me saying, yo.
It comes from, Shon, part of that comes from you giving me a chance. Bro. Part of that comes from you giving me a chance. I've never been in front of that many people. I didn't know what to expect. I was scared as heck. And then when you gave it to me, I was even more scared. I'm like, why are you giving it to me? I don't want to do it.
You cool. Murdered it, though.
I'm cool. I don't mind being in the back. I'll take give me 30 people.
Nah, you murdered it, bro.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So that's because of all the sacrifice you made for brothers like me who not even in this chair with you right now. There are a lot of brothers I know for a fact that could say, if they were in this chair, all the things that you've done for all of us along the way. And I don't even have to know all of them to be able to say to you, I know what you did for me.
Yes, sir.
And you didn't know me. So if you did that for me and you didn't know me, I can only imagine what you do for others who you do know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so part of my assignment has been to do just exactly what you've done for me, and to recognize the power that and the proximity that I have to this as well, and say, okay, Cole, you hold space here, but there are a lot of brothers that need to be in that space too.
Yeah.
So how do you make room for them to be able to come in, and then you just hold back?
Yeah.
Because, and not that you're holding back, but it's almost like, okay, that's my proximity. I know where I'm at, but this brother hasn't even had a chance to get through the window, through the door. So how do I make sure that he gets to come in too?
Yeah.
Because we can all share this.
We can all, bro.
You know
We can all share.
There's enough room for everybody.
It's enough room,
you know
man. It's enough room.
There's this false belief that there are not enough resources, so we all got to be in the barrel, pulling all each other back, trying to get to the top. And it's like, no, bro, we ain't got to be in the barrel. We don't have to pull each other back. I'm not trying to take from what you have. I just want you to know this where I'm at. This is where you at. And guess what, bro? We can climb that mountain together. We don't. It doesn't have to be I'm behind you.
That's real, man.
Love me. I can be beside you. And I think that is something. I think we have to start believing. But sometimes it starts with just basically what you did. You didn't know me. You lended. You said, hey, here you go.
Yes.
But you also trusted God.
Yes.
But if I don't have a relationship with God, Shon, that's the other part, bro. You had a relationship with God, so you knew to listen when it was time for you to be obedient to His word. What if I don't have a relationship with God?
And and I speak to that, right? My thing is that's my path, right? But but it's about what's doing right.
Okay.
Right? It's about having morals and being a servant.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Just being a servant, right?
Okay.
Just, like, I remember one of the scripture where it talks about where it's saying that Jesus was a man of no reputation. And I had to get to a place, bro, and it wasn't until a little while ago, a couple of years ago, man, when I went through some of the darkest times in my life, and many people didn't know.
Yeah.
But in that space, bro, I had to learn how to die to myself. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to be a man of no reputation. So you can talk about my past.
Yeah.
You can talk about all the stuff that I've been through. It doesn't matter. Know why? Because my wife knows everything. So you can't do anything to hurt me in that regard.
Yeah.
Those people who's closest to me, that their opinions matter, they know everything. Yeah. And most importantly, my Creator, He knows everything. He forgave me. Yeah. I'm straight. So somebody can come out and like, yo, you did this. Like, yup, I sure did. That's not who I am today.
Yeah. That's it.
I can't change the past, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, all I can do is focus on today. And so from our conversation, I just really want to encourage men to be okay with growing from the inside out so you can collaborate with others.
Yeah.
Society in the American way of early on, through slavery and, just segregation and all that, have placed, a mentality on the inside of us why we shouldn't collaborate.
Yeah.
We just need to relearn and unlearn some things.
I agree.
Right? And just really start dealing with like that, our own biases.
Yeah.
Not just getting pissed when somebody white do something to somebody black. Bro, we do stuff to each other all the time.
All the time.
And we make excuses for it.
Yeah.
So my thing is, man, is that we need to learn how to start working together and be intentional about that boy.
Yeah. And I would say, too, for me, I think it's important to learn how to celebrate. I think another thing black men don't do is we don't celebrate our own wins, so it's very difficult to celebrate yours. You know what I'm saying? So here I am, I've worked hard, I've done this thing, then it's like, okay, I'm on to the next. I'm like, dang, Cole, you ain't even paused to say, man, great job, Cole.
Yep. That's
you know what
real.
I'm saying? Good job. It's like, okay, nope, got that done. On to the next thing. So I say is one of the things I think is important for brothers. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your small wins. So, and you do that enough for you. Then, man, when I show up and you see me, you can celebrate with me too.
That's good.
But I think I feel like what I've been learning, it all goes back to self too. It's like, okay, I can't do for you what I haven't done for me. You know what I'm saying? And so until we do that, we gonna always be looking at each other and trying to tear each other down. because I haven't been able to really look at myself and say, okay, you worthy too. You're
Yeah.
valuable enough too.
That's
Your
good,
voice
man.
matters too. You know, your work matters too. And until I can say it for myself in a way that matters to me and it echoes in me, I don't have to worry about if you don't say it to me.
Yeah.
If I don't see it, if I don't get a ping on my phone, or I don't get a like on Facebook or Instagram.
That's good.
If I don't get any of that, that's okay, because guess what? I've already told myself that I'm doing it, and I've already celebrated with me, so that's enough. And
That's
I think
good.
That's what
good.
brothers have to do. So I'm asking us to do the real work, like you're saying. Man, love on yourself, celebrate yourself. So when I show up and you show up to spaces, oh, bro, it's all love.
It's all love, man.
It's all love.
It's all love.
It's all love. Because I've been giving it to me.
Yep.
You know
Come
what I'm
on with
saying?
it. I've been giving it to me for a long time.
So now I got enough to give to you, bro. So I think that's what we have to go. And if we can do that, bro, that's half the battle. And that's part of why the Father's heart is so important, because I think our heart is much bigger than what I think is portrayed in the world of social media and all that.
Yes,
We
sir.
got big hearts, man. We care about our children. We care about our communities. We care about our villages. We care about our women. We care about the elders. We care about all of that. But I think we get trapped in the image and that one-sided story that says that black men only do one thing.
Yep.
Or black men only do this thing. But there are multifaceted things that we do as men of color that can no longer be. We can no longer continue to accept those narratives, and we have to push back on those and say that no, black men do a lot of stuff.
Yes, sir.
I'm wearing a hoodie. I wore a hoodie the other day that says "Black Men Smile." I'm walking through the mall with this hoodie on, and a black woman is looking at me, and they just waiting on me. And I'm like, wait, what? Hi, how are you, man? She was like, I've been waiting on you to smile. And I was like, what? She said, you got the hoodie on, so I need you to represent the hoodie with it. And I was like, dang. So then I just started walking through the mall smiling.
Yeah. Like, really, you gonna call me out?
But you gonna call me out? But I think what was powerful was that what she was saying to me, don't wear it, represent it. If you really feel that love and that joy in you, I should see it when I walk by you.
That's
Even
good.
if I don't read your hoodie, I can see it in your face.
That's good.
So I was like, man, okay, be what we say we're gonna be.
That's good,
so
man.
That's all we got
That's
to do,
good, bro.
That's all
That's
we got to do.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yo, so that brings us to our segment.
Yes, bro. So the legit or not legit? Because I got clowned the last time, and I'm nervous about even answering this legit or not legit, because I don't know if it's legit or not. But I'm gonna ask the question to you specifically: is it legit or not legit for children to challenge their parents' parenting styles? Is it legit or not legit for a child to tell a parent, I don't like the way you do things when it comes to how you treat me? Is that completely disrespectful? Can children actually say that to a parent? Because I know what I couldn't say. But I wonder, is that legit or not legit? So children have the vehicle to use their voice to tell parents what they're doing to them as it relates to the way that they parent them.
All right, so honestly, for me, this is easy.
Okay.
And my daughter is behind the camera, guys.
She is.
So I say it's the wording you used, right? But I'm gonna say it's legit. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you how it's better. Okay. Not can they tell me. They can express.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to break down what is tell versus express.
Okay. Yeah. So the tell would be, to me, is disrespectful. It's like they are my equal. Okay. And they saying you don't treat me this way. They telling me what to do. Okay. Versus where we have created a space for them to express to us, like, Dad, when you said A, B, C, and D, that hurt me. Okay. That wasn't cool. Okay. You mean, can you explain? Just like like, and come back to me later, and I'll be the first to say that I would apologize. And my baby's on the camera. I would like her to come around here real quick. Come here. Because I told you, I don't want to be
a public success.
A public success.
And a private failure.
And a private failure. Yes. Right? I want her to come over here. Yeah. And she can tell. Yeah. You can sit down right here. Okay. Let's see. And you can tell, what I just said is legit. Yeah. Do I allow you guys to express yourself? And you can, if I don't, you can be honest. No.
I feel like it depends on the situation.
Okay.
Okay. I would say most of the time you allow us to come back. But if you feel like you were right and we were really, in the wrong in the situation, then no.
Okay.
You'll listen to us, but then you'll explain why you said what you said or why you feel the way that you feel.
Wow.
Okay.
That's growth.
So my question to you is, do you feel empowered? Do you think I do it the right way? Is there something I can do differently?
I think you do it the right way.
Yeah.
You're not just saying that.
No. In the moment, emotions are high for, us and you. So from that point, it's kind of like, I guess in the moment we don't see it as, you trying to be not necessarily fair, but like that you hear us and you want us to hear you. In the moment, it kind of seems like you're shutting us down. But most of the time when you realize that you kind of were shutting us down, you'll come back and say something about it later.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's important to me, honestly,
that's good.
Right?
No.
Because I want to be able to come back and say, listen, I was wrong, or this is why I did what I did.
Yeah.
Right? And I try not to repeat that same behavior. But I let them know, like, yo, I'm human, homie.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we are, I'm not going to try to act like I'm Mr. Perfect. But what I try to do, honestly, on a daily basis, man, is that I try to reflect the man who I am in the community to be that man at the crib.
No. And I appreciate everything that you said, because I wish that I would have had an opportunity to ask that same question to my children, right? Because I think one of the things that I did that I wish I challenged myself on now is I would say things like, you know what? You're not in control of my emotions. So just say whatever you need to say, and based on whatever you need to say, I'll have to deal with that. But what I also would add to that, but you better say it respectful. And then my sons was like, well, how can I express my anger towards you and not be able to express it that way that the anger comes out in me? Versus now I gotta still try to figure out, how do I say this respectfully, but I'm hurting, so it's not gonna come out in a respectful way. It's gonna come out in a way because I'm hurting. And I was like, okay. But my son said something really powerful to me. He said, well, Dad, you want us to come and talk to you, but I've seen what you do when I tell you the small stuff. So the big stuff, you can't even handle that. So no, I'm not talking to you. I can't come to you because you really don't react the way you say you react. You react a different way. And I was like, dang, do I? But then I was like, but you know what? If you go in the refrigerator and turn on the lights, you see that the electric bill, I pay the bill for. I go through that parenting script, right? I don't went through that whole script instead of listening to, he's right. I do overreact. He's right. I don't really listen. I don't really want to hear it.
Wow.
And you better say it to me in a way that doesn't make me uncomfortable, right? And so to hear you say that is pretty powerful, because Shon, I think that these are the kind of conversations that we have to be having with our kids.
Yep.
And I hear you time and time again say, I will not be a public success and a private failure. Yep. And I'm like, that. I probably hear that more from you than anybody I've ever heard that in front of. So that tells me the power of what it means to show up authentically yourself everywhere you go. Because guess what? Your children are a mirror of that. And even if nobody knows about you, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
So I'll hook you. I got some money for you. I got
you.
some money. I got you. I paid her, y'all. I paid her.
She did her thing today. So legit.
So for me, it's legit.
That's
real. I mean, for me, is definitely it's definitely legit to give them space, because my thing is, man, last thing I'll speak on this. My thing is that I tell them I'm not gonna be here forever.
No.
Right, unfortunately, and they hate when I say that or whatever.
Real.
And I know I'm gonna live for a long time, right? But my thing is, like, I'm not going to be here forever, and I need them to be equipped with all the things that they need to be successful. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, I am your ally. Yeah. I am your biggest fan. Yeah. Right? And I'll be your biggest critic if you need me to.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But my thing is, like, yo, I got to give you this work. Yeah. If I don't, man, I'm failing you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, I don't have a problem if I jacked up, homie.
Yeah. Tell me.
Tell me.
Tell me.
You know what I mean? You don't have to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
But
just tell
they
me.
know. Just tell me, and I'll holler. Like if I got to pivot, I'll pivot.
Yeah.
If it's something that's difficult for me to do, I'm telling you, like, yo, it's hard for me to do this one, but I do it because I was a spanker, bro.
Man.
Like she got all the spankings.
Word.
All the spankings. She got all the spankings, homie. And so her sister and little brother, they don't get the spankings, right?
Yeah.
And so my man called me out on her. So it was like overnight, bro, that I went from spanking her to not be, and I realized that I just did not have the tools to help redirect her behavior, right?
Yeah.
And my man called me out on this, so now I'm like, ooh, what do I do? I don't have fear. I don't have a belt.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that. What do I have to do? So I had to learn how to parent, not by using fear, but by using love.
And that's why what we do and what so many other brothers do when it comes to working with fathers is important. Because we don't often get that. No one tells you how to do it.
Yeah.
You just, walk into it and it's expected for you to do it.
This is good.
Yeah, man. So,
Cole, once again. Once again, man.
Always, brother.
Once
you
again,
already know.
baby. Yes,
you
sir.
already know.
Hey.
Wow.
Our first in-person, we're going to have many, many more.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The Father's Heart Podcast, man.
Yeah.
See you later.